in general?
Privacy, just as a blanket statement, is that of, say, for instance, you know how you have privacy clauses and you
Mm-hmm.
sign the contract?
Mm-hmm.
That means it goes no further than that company that you're dealing with. They're not going to share your information with anyone else. So when
Mm-hmm.
you think in terms of privacy, we're talking about relationships,
Mm-hmm.
why could that not have the same meaning? That the
Okay.
privacy and what we speak about and what we do stays within our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's me and you. That's not me, you, Sam and Sally, and Joan and John. Not at all.
So
Okay.
it stays between.
So nobody in addition, it's just the two parties or whatever parties it was between.
And that's the reason I'm saying that is, think about this. You're in a relationship. Say you're in a relationship with Kwame. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you and him. And then all of a sudden you start having some issues and you decide that you're going to go outside of that realm and you're going to talk about it to someone. It's
Mm-hmm.
not private anymore, because see, what we never know, we always trust people with what we tell them.
Okay.
But a lot of times when you talk to someone about something, it's not as important and
Mm-hmm.
as private to them as it is to you, because you just told them. Now, your
Okay.
friends are not always their friends. So if they tell, it could be, well, you know what? I'm going to talk to my girlfriend about what she just said to me, because you don't know her. So then you've got what? It's an extra person now. So now
Mm-hmm.
two people know, and they might tell their other two people. So where has that gone? There's embarrassment that could actually come with you leaking something out of your relationship. How is that going to make him feel? If it comes back to him, he's not going to be as trusting,
Exactly.
at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have to be careful. And sometimes, I promise you, it sounds crazy, but sometimes those things that are going through our minds, we have to talk over with ourselves
Okay.
to get, in other words, to give it some thought
Okay.
and let it resonate with us first before we go out and start talking to somebody else, which we shouldn't be doing anyway.
Okay. I see. So you think we should encourage privacy in a relationship?
Of course, because let's think about this realistically. I was thinking about this earlier today in privacy and relationships. Think about it. You're having some issues in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like the way, let me see, you don't like the way he doesn't clean up behind himself. That's just something small.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really like that. And so you think, you know what? I can't believe he's lazy. He's
Mm-hmm.
dirty. I just can't take it. And you're going on and on and on about this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then imagine him finding out how you're talking about him. Wouldn't you feel hurt if someone was talking about you and it got back to you? I mean, something so minute and so small. If what would you think if I'm on here with you and I go and I come off of here and I'm talking to someone about you. We're not even in a relationship, but I'm talking about you, and it gets back to you. It really does something to you. So it's no different than a relationship, because that's a close bond, or it should be. So privacy should be kept within that realm, just within the walls there. That's where it should be kept. If you can't take it, then you go to somebody who specializes in that, because your friends don't specialize in it, because you don't know if she wants your man.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So you keep on talking to me, sweetie, because I'm loving it. Now I know what to do. If you don't want it clean, baby, you ain't got to if you come to my house. Right or wrong.
So,
Okay, so let me put it in this situation. In between the partners, should there be privacy? You and your partner, should you hide things from each other? Should you keep things from each other?
No, I don't think that that's proper, and I'll tell you why. You can't grow if you don't know. Do you understand what I mean?
Well,
Now, let's say, okay, a lot of people have, a, say for instance, you have an account, a bank account. He has a bank account. He's not saying anything to you about his second account. You just know about one. So
mm-hmm.
he's got a second one. He's keeping that private. You're keeping yours private. Something happens and you find out. You know what happens? You begin to feel like he doesn't trust me. You don't keep things like that. There's certain things that you may want to keep to yourself as a woman, but it's nothing that's going to jeopardize your relationship. Nothing is going to jeopardize. Like, I never had a separate account or anything like that. I just didn't see the need to, so I didn't. And I didn't keep things that I thought would affect our relationship. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wasn't stepping out doing any of those things. Where I went, I didn't have a problem saying I'm going such and such or going whatever. I don't think that that's really a good idea, because when the person finds out, it's a big boulder that like hits them on the head.
All right.
Now you're holding your mouth. I'm wondering what you get ready to say. Come tell me.
So my question, from what you said, so what is the difference between privacy and secrecy?
Privacy.
First of all,
when I think about privacy, mm-hmm. I think about those things that are very critical.
Okay.
Issues to keep to yourself.
Okay.
Secrecy is you could be it to me goes with secrecy and sneaky. Okay. Like being sneaky.
Okay.
You know, you're being very sneaky or devious about something. When I think of that word mm-hmm. Secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm not gonna tell her about you.
Okay.
So you can have a best friend that's a female,
okay,
as a man,
mm-hmm.
and she can have a best friend that's a male. If all that is not put on the table before you delve into that relationship, then if you continue on in that, then that to me is secrecy. It has nothing to do with privacy. It's that's secrecy.
So following, let me say this. Okay, so I cheated on my, let's say I cheated on my 12th grade exams, right? And I also mm-hmm. maybe in my 20s I had a threesome. Which one can I say is a secret, and which one can I say is privacy?
Tell me again. I couldn't hear you really.
Yeah, I couldn't hear your question again.
Okay. So my question is, I cheated on my 12th grade exams. If I cheated on my 12th grade exams and I had in my 20s I had a threesome, which one would I consider that to be a secret, and which one would be as part of privacy? Which one would be good for me in a relationship? Okay, in a relationship, which one would be good for me to share with my spouse or with my partner?
The second one.
The second one.
Because you said you had a threesome?
Yes, in my 20s, I had a threesome.
In your 20s, you had a threesome.
Yes.
And you cheated on your 12th?
On my 12th grade exams, yeah.
I'm not going to worry about that. If I'm your woman, we're not worrying about your exam. Okay. I want to know about this threesome. What happened? Because let's be realistic. Yeah. That means I'm wondering if you never told me and I find out.
Okay.
Is this your pattern that you're continuing on?
Okay. But
I'm concerned.
Okay, it's in my 20s. Why does it matter in the relationship? It's in my 20s. It happens when I was like 22 or 20 years. It's something that happened in my past. Can I keep that secret? And why should I tell my spouse?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
In your 20s, you had a threesome. Now let's just go back.
Yes.
You had a threesome.
Yeah.
You had two other individuals that were involved in that.
Yes.
Now suppose those individuals are still in some part of your life.
Yes.
You're not with them all the time, but you're in some part of your life. Mm-hmm. They get to meet the woman that you're with now. You know, I can't believe he's such a changed person. When we were in our 20s, we had a threesome. Did he ever tell you about that? And I'm sitting there like,
no, he didn't. But why does it matter in a relationship? There are certain things that have to be kept secret, Roxy. No.
Listen. That is not one of them for me.
Why is that not? Why?
Because what I'm doing is I'm embarking on a relationship with you now.
Okay.
Is this something that you enjoy doing? I don't care if it was in your 20s. You see what I'm saying? I need to know. These are things, like I told you, you put it on the table. Mm-hmm. You can say, you know what, listen, I just want to let you know I'm being very honest with you. These are things that have happened, and I don't want anyone else to approach you with it. Okay. And I can take it or leave it and say, you know what, okay, you were real adventurous back there, but you stopped. You're not doing that now, are you? And you say, no, that was in my 20s, but you know what? Mm-hmm. I just want to get these things out so we don't have any issues later.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It's done. That was your secret for that time, but now you're going to embark on something with me we need to talk about those things.
But Roxy, we are in a relationship, right? Why does it matter for me? I know you've explained why it matters for me to tell my spouse. Maybe I don't want my spouse, maybe we build a trust. It's something that happened in my past. What difference is that going to make? Would that change anything?
Sometimes before Roxy talks, sometimes your partner will be hitting you back with your past that you've told him or her. So is it really necessary for you to just voice out and tell him or her something that happened in the past?
That's why you, Roxy?
Oh, for me? Oh, okay.
you
I
get
thought
it.
she was.
Yeah.
I'm talking from the angle when I was coming from that. Is it really
But I
necessary
got
for you
that.
to even talk about it?
You know what? I got that. But I promise you, I don't like surprises. And a lot of women don't like surprises. Don't let someone else come to me with something. I would rather you to tell me.
Okay.
Now, if you're out of that whole realm of things, then perhaps you may just say, you may ask her. You may not even tell it was you. You know what? I had a friend, and I remember such and such and such. Give me an idea of something. But can you imagine that being dropped on you by the person that he was in the threesome with? And they're still friends, because you know what? Let me tell you something. You think something happened in the 20s and it's forgotten?
Yeah.
Listen, you don't know where it's going to merge from.
Roxy,
it's always better.
I'm going
Sorry,
to
go
push.
ahead.
I'm going to push on that again. I mean,
Okay.
why you said it's good to put everything on the table. Okay, Roxy, it happened in my past. Maybe I don't want to share with my spouse because I want to keep the trust that she's built, right? We've built together. We've built a strong trust. I don't want to mess it up. There are certain things that I believe you have to still keep it as a secret. Okay, and this will be one of them for me. And the reason being, maybe if I tell her that, hey, in my 20s, I had a threesome, I don't think from a guy's point of view, I don't think it's going to change anything or it's going to add anything to our relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong, or jump in if I'm wrong. I want us to have a debate here. Instead of,
well, you know what? It could, depending to, this is me. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm considering it serious.
Okay.
Now you're talking about marriage and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really believe, if someone comes to me, I'm trying to think of an example if I ever had anything like that. But I tell you what, I did have one that was a big secret, never told me anything about it. And when I found out, I was devastated.
You see, and
I'm giving you, I'm always open to talk to me about things, because I would rather for you to tell me in the beginning of things as we're growing. Because see, once I built trust in you and you throw something at me, it's like a bomb that goes off. And you could knock down a few of those walls that I have up of trust around us.
Okay, so that was the reason why I asked a question about privacy and secrecy, right? Okay,
that's secrecy though. That's not privacy.
Okay, and then what is your definition for secrecy? Secrecy
is when you're withholding something that's affecting our relationship.
Okay.
That's secrecy. Privacy is like, to me, is more contractual.
Okay. So there's secrecy. There's a reason why you have to keep certain information hidden. You said you don't want to feel like a bomb was thrown at you, right? And maybe that is the reason why the person wants to keep that as a secret.
Okay. Sometimes it's even sometimes some of the things when you tell them, it's even drag them back and just take them away from you. Some of the things, like what Nana gave an example of threesome.
If somebody's for you, baby, they're gonna be there. It may take a while for them to adjust, but they're not going anywhere. What happens is when someone tells us something like that, it may shock us and we look like, what did he or she just say? And you're in shock. But the thing of it is that as you're building your foundation, you let them know, listen, I have something I want to tell you. You know how I feel about you. We've got a good relationship going. This is what happened. Now, if someone is going to stop interacting with you and keeping your relationship going because you're being honest with them, give them some time and see if they really can't take it. Sometimes it would, different things I would hear would hit me hard. But you know what? If I knew down to the core who you were, we've already built it. Okay, let's get past it. I'm glad you told me though. And I really appreciate you telling me. Because if I would have found out from someone else, that's when I would have said, well, why would you hide that from me? Talk to me. You have to build trust, because even in your marriage or your relationship, as you go on, there's going to be stuff that comes up. And you can't be afraid to talk to your mate about things. I can see if you got 10 kids on the side and you never told her. That's a big thing too.
That's a big one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is there are some that could be a secret too.
Mm-hmm.
You just didn't tell her. The woman doesn't even live in the same state with you. So why are you sharing that? She's getting child support, but you're not telling her because it's not affecting you guys. But that should be something that should be told too, because you never know. And then it becomes like an atomic bomb for a woman.
Right, yeah.
I think we're more sensitive than it would be to a man.